Welcome, everybody, to a look inside the Jags. We're going to review weeks 1 through 3. Um, haven't had time to do one every week. Trying to get back to that. So here we go. Week 1 was a loss to the Steelers. Um, it was an overtime loss. I felt like we played pretty good. Need some more from our offense. If we get more from our offense, we probably win this game. It doesn't go to overtime. Um, So the Steelers had 567 yards of offense, 149 on the ground, 418 through the air, 30 first downs. It was a very methodical way of moving the ball for him, and not really any big plays, just consistently 5, 6 yards at a time, moving the ball down the field. Um, we got him on kick return yards. Turnovers were even. He got me on third down conversions, fourth down conversions, and red zone percentage. Uh, Time of possession says I only had the ball for 1 minute and 46 seconds. That might just be the overtime. I didn't have the ball at all in overtime, but I know I had the ball more than 1 minute and 46 seconds. Uh, so let's look at the player stats. Justin Fields, 50% completion, 9 of 18, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, 250 yards for a 112 rating. He did quite well for me. Rushing, uh, Trevor Lawrence was 25 of 36, 69% for 418 yards, 106 rating, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. And we got rushing Jalen Warren, 22 for 212 or 112, 5.1 a carry. Uh, they couldn't stop a nosebleed in this game. My rush defense. Um, Najee Harris, 9 for 52 at 5.8 a carry. Kyron Williams for the Steelers, he had 10 for 31 and 2 touchdowns. It felt like he was mainly used in the red zone, down by the goal line. Better power back than Warren. Warren just got more speed. Bigsby, he had 5 for 28, 5.6 a carry. This guy, he got a carry on fourth down that was a good fourth down. He, Good fourth down play. I figured he was going to Kyron Williams, and he went to his fullback instead. Picked up a tough 3 yards. Nick Lowry, he's a beast. I had a hard time stopping him. He had a couple big plays, but overall, he just come across the middle, fast receiver. Had a hard time stopping him. Addison for me, 3 catches, 132 yards, 44 per catch, 2 touchdowns. He made a beautiful play with a nice jump cut, splitting 2 defenders and taking it to the house on a crossing route. It was a beautiful play. Uh, Michael Pittman, this guy was killing me on third down. It was like every ball that went to him, even when he's getting hit, he would catch it, snatch it, bring it down. It was just big, tall receiver with good hands. It worked really well, complementing Lowry. Um, Duke Evans, another guy that was just catching everything. Donnie Mitchell had 3 catches for 87 yards. Um, couldn't really get him into open space, but he hit a nice deep ball for me. Caught a few out routes. Really couldn't get him going other than that. Washington, this guy came up big. There was I think it was third down. He got hammered and still caught the ball. A lot of respect. That was a tough catch. Gabe Davis, he had 2 catches for 23 yards and a touchdown. He's a little bit older receiver for me. One catch, 8 yards for Herbert, guy I traded for. Kyron Williams had 1 for 7. Parham had 1 for 5. Blocking says no sacks were given up, but I don't think that's the case. So on defense, Andre Cisco led the way with 9 tackles, 5 assisted, 9 solo tackles, 5 assisted for a total of 14. Devin Lloyd had 3 solo, 7 assisted for a total of 12, and a tackle for loss. Hackett had 9 total tackles, 1 for tackle for loss. Darnell Savage with 4 solos, 4 assisted, total of 8, and a pick. He had a beautiful pick where he undercut it on a deep ball. Stopped the touchdown. Clark Phillips, 5 solo, 2 assisted for a total of 7. Jeremiah Kusamora, 3 solos, 3 assisted, 6 total tackles, but 3 of them were for tackles for loss. He was playing in the backfield. He didn't always get home, but he was there. Calvin Graham, I didn't go into the game being worried about this guy. He was in the OMFL Bowl. He was part of the Titans team. But he didn't get any picks in this game, which was my biggest concern. But he had two solo, 4 assisted for a total of 6 tackles. Lattimore, he had a tackle for a loss. Antonio Herrick, who we lost to injury, he had a tackle for loss. Patrick Queen had a tackle for loss. Mika Fitzpatrick had a pick for the Steelers. All around, they didn't play horrible, but they need to tighten up the rushing defense, and our corners need to cover a little better. Kicking, we blocked a kick, and that was a big turning point in the game. We returned it for a touchdown. Cam Little was 1 for 1. Cade York was 3 of 6. Hit a 49-yard field goal with Cam. Nice leg. 4 for 4 on extra points from Cam. And that was week 1. Now let's take a look at week 2. Week 2, we pulled off a 31-19 victory. We had 191 total yards of offense. It was abysmal. It was horrible, and I need to figure it out. He had 148 yards rushing, 278 passing for a total of 426 offensive yards. We had 13 first downs to his 18. We had no punt return yards, no kick return yards. He was booting the ball out of the back of the end zone. The big thing here is turnovers. We had 1 on a Fields interception, but we got 5 takeaways in this game, and that was the story of the game. So red zone proficiency or percentage, was 100% this game. He had Aiden O'Connell in the game at one point, 75%, with a touchdown and no picks. Justin Fields was 10 of 19 for 52 yards, or 52%, and only 125 yards, one touchdown, one pick. He did just enough to not lose us the game. But Gaston Wathers, however you say that name, he had 0 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 13 of 23, and that was the story of the game right there, the 5 picks. So rushing, McCaffrey had went off. He had a crazy touchdown run that was like 50 yards, where he was like beast mode. He just ran through every block or every try to tackle, and it was crazy. But he had 133 yards and a touchdown. Najee Harris, 13 for 44 yards, 3.4 a carry. Chuba Hubbard, he had 5 carries for 15 yards for 3 a carry. Zamir White, had 3 rushes for 11 yards at 3.7 a carry. Justin Fields, 3 for 6 for 2 yards a carry and a touchdown. Tank Bigsby had 5 for 1 yard at 0.2 yards a carry. He had a touchdown. Gaston Walters, he had 1 for 4 yards. Receiving, Dwayne Du Bois, 7 catches, 91 yards. No touchdowns. Adams, 5 for 89 yards, no touchdowns. Deebo Samuel, 3 for 57, no touchdowns. Addison, 4 for 53 and no touchdowns. Gabe Davis, 3 for 35, no touchdowns. DJ Hoskins, 2 for 29 and a touchdown. McCaffrey, 2 for 19. No. Najee Harris, 2 for 19. Adonai Mitchell, 1 for 18. Didn't really get him involved in the game. I wanted to. I just didn't have time to wait on the routes. I was getting a lot of pressure. 1 for 18 and a touchdown. Blocking. Jackson Powers Johnson gave up a sack for the Raiders. Defense, Jeremiah Kusumura. 8 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and an interception from him. Hackett, he had 7 total tackles. Divine Diablo, he had 2 tackles for loss, 6 tackles. Darnell Savage, 6 tackles and an interception. Got an interception from Tyrell Dodson for the Raiders. Andre Cisco got an interception. Marshawn Lattimore, he had 2 picks. He went to being primed. Marshawn, he was locking people up. Trying to see who got the sack. I'm missing it. Pretty sure it was a big defensive lineman. Yep, there it is. Mason Smith got the sack. It was late in the, I think it was late in the third or early in the fourth quarter. Kicking, Cam Little hit one from 43. Daniel Carlson, 2 kicks. His long was 23 or 21 yards. Had 4 extra points made to Carlson's 1. Deebo Samuel, 4 kick returns for 96 yards, 1 punt return for 1 yard. And that was week 2. Week 3, this was a tough game. This was much more balanced, in my opinion. Although my passing game didn't keep me in the game the way I needed it to late. So the final score was 35-24. I felt like it was much closer than that. Yeah, 395 yards of offense to 321 yards of offense, 127 yards of rush offense to 184. Usually, if you have that, that's usually a precursor of you winning a game because that means you're controlling the clock. But 268 passing yards to 137, 19 first downs to 18 first downs, 6 punt return yards to 2 punt return yards, 96 kick return yards to 0 kick return yards, for a total yard gain of 497 for the Titans, 323 for the Jags. We both had 2 turnovers. He had 4 third down conversions. I had 1. I had 1 fourth down conversion. He had none. 100% red zone percentage for me, which means I'm getting the job done in the red zone. He had 4 red zone touchdowns. I had 3, and I had a field goal. Time of possession is pretty even. It's separated by 4 seconds. So to me, this game was really close. It was a couple plays late that put him up 11 points. We were tied going into the fourth quarter, which, with him being the defending OMFL champs, I felt really good about. This game was not as overhanded as I thought it was going to be. But Love, 14 of 22, 2 picks, 2 touchdowns, 99.6 rating. Fields, 65.4 quarterback rating, 149 yards, 2 picks, 2 touchdowns, only 10. He got sacked 3 times. He was only 10 of 21. One of those picks came on trying to get the ball out quick off a blitz, got hit as I threw, and went to the other team. Rushing yards, Jerome Mabry. This guy was talked about on Press Pass Live. He's a beast. He runs through people. He runs around people. He's just got a really good, really good. He's got a really good all-around back right there. It's hard to stop. Najee Harris, 13 for 77, 5.9 a carry. Justin Fields, 3 for 43. I had a big run late, 26-yarder late, trying to get down to score, try to get back in the game. Tank Bigsby, 3 for 22, 7.3 a carry. Jared Sims, 1 for 22. And that was on an option play. I went to go to try to do a triple option, trying to run it with Fields. Didn't work. Popped it out to my fullback, and he took it for 22 yards, which really surprised about that. Deion Foster, he had 2 for 22. Chuba Hubbard had 3 for 20. Pollard had 3 for 14. Jordan Love had 2 for 10. I felt really good about my running game in this game. It definitely did some damage. The only thing I wish I could change is that we only had 1 touchdown from it. I feel if we would have got another touchdown or 2 from there, we would have been all right. Bobby Freeman, this man is a thorn. Just when you think you got him slowed down, he goes to Joe Collins. He's got 2 receivers that are over 6 foot tall, and neither one of them are slow. But Freeman, he had 6 receptions for 109 yards. Collins had 3 for 61 and a touchdown. Addison, 4 receptions, 60 yards. Really couldn't get him going in this. Mitchell, 3 for 56. Couldn't really get him going. Mekhi Jenkins, I did not see this guy coming. He would break open late, and Kobe would find him. I mean, it's just 2 receptions, but 50 yards, 25 a pop. It's big numbers. Jerome Mayberry, he 2 for 49. Gabe Davis, 2 for 27 and a touchdown. Rylan Crane, rookie, got his first catch for touchdown reception in this game. Albert, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. 1 for 10 and a touchdown. Blocking, Zach Tom gave up a sack. I guess the other ones were on the quarterback because there's 3 sacks in the game. Okay, so Jeremiah Kusamura led the way with 9 tackles. Leading the way for the Titans was Chiyobi Awuzie. I think I pronounced that right. With 8 tackles. Greg Best had a sack. Devin Lloyd had a sack. Lattimore got another pick. So did Cisco. Andre Cisco got a pick. Lattimore got a pick. Snead had a pick for the Titans. And so did Peyton Wilson, my bad. Peyton Wilson, he had a pick. It was a quick bang play. I tried getting the ball out quick and got hit. It floated right to the middle linebacker. Carl Brooks had a sack for the Titans. Jalen Harrell had a sack for the Titans. I mean, this game was really close until the end. That's when it was a 4-point game, like 3 minutes left. He orchestrated a drive that put him up 11. Then I had to try to play catch up. It was a really good game. I hung in there really well against the guy who won it all last season. Last season. Look ahead, we got Denver and the Browns, and Bill with the Giants coming up. Both these guys right now are leading their divisions. Bill is the NFC champions from last season, played in the OMFL Bowl. I usually play him pretty well. Last time he really had my number. I think it's a different team this season. I might be able to do a few different things that he isn't ready for, I'm hoping. Denver and the Browns. He was my first OMFL game last cycle. And this guy, he's really smart with the ball. He's really good at what he does. He knows how to play to his strengths. I have to shut the run game down and make him one-dimensional in order to win that game. Because if he can run the ball, he will keep moving it downfield. You can't stop him if he can move the ball on the ground, because then he'll hit you over the top for some big plays. But as we've seen in the previous weeks, he will serve up a few gifts if you put pressure on him. He threw a few picks. Justin Fields, he's only got 534 yards in 3 games. I don't like that. He is running right around 50%, which ain't too bad. 78 yards a game. Need to get that up. Also need to get this interception number down. Four four touchdowns to 6 interceptions. Um, he's been sacked 3 times, so it's not too bad. Rushing, Najee Harris through 3 games has only got 173 yards. I need to lean more into the rushing game. Um, it's that is what it is. I get away from it too quick when I get down. Still missing a few pieces of this team to be able to really go um, and do what I want to do. Receiving wise, Addison's leading the way with 11 receptions for 245 yards. Donnie Mitchell is not far behind, but 7 receptions for 161. Um, Gabe Davis has only got 85 yards on 7 receptions, but he's got 2 touchdowns. Crane is only 1 touchdown for 16 yards. I think this guy is going to be pretty good, a decent slot receiver, which is why I drafted him. But I got to get these guys more involved. And on defense, you got Mr. Andre Cisco with 2 picks already this season, Jeremiah Kusamora with a pick this season, Darnell Savage with 2 this season, Lattimore with 3 already this season. And then, yeah. So, I mean, we're getting the interceptions. We got 8 picks in 3 games. Defense isn't playing horrible. I mean, it needs to tighten up the rush defense, and the pass rush needs to get home, but they're not playing horrible. We've only got, 1 sack, 2 sacks on the season. We need to get a few more. But we were without Josh Hines Allen for 2 games with a salary cap suspension, and he is now back. Now we need him to put up some numbers, and we also need Trayvon Walker to start getting pressure on the quarterback to get us a better opportunity to win some games. But that's a look inside the first 3 weeks with the Jags. You guys all have a great day, and we'll be seeing you next time.